Hello, everyone. I'm sorry that we didn't do the video yesterday, but I gave you a break. Hopefully, those of you who have missing work have really used this time to use the time, I should say, to get up to date and get current. I will probably be sending another email out with more specific details on what you're missing. But you know what you have. You can look at GradeLink and see what I put up there. If you're missing a grade or you have zeros, you can redo that work. Okay, so here what we're going to do, we're going to pick up here the Song of Roland. Now the D is not pronounced in the Song of Roland because it's French. Okay, so it's the Song of Roland. Okay, it reflects the ideal of knighthood that flowered through the Middle Ages. The knights were sworn to uphold a code of honor and service known as chivalry. A knight took vows to defend his king and his Christian faith. He considered his duty and his honor more important than his own life. Now, some names and places that are important in the Song of Roland. We have Auch, which is AIX, which is a city in southern France. We have Charlemagne, which is the name that has been given, the Anglican name, which is substituted for Charles the Great, the king of the Franks and emperor of the Romans. He's described as being 8 feet tall with the strength of 3 men. He traveled with a special bodyguard of 12 men called the Paladins. We also have a character, which is Durendal. Durendal is Roland's sword. We say it's a character because it has a specific place and purpose. Okay, we have Ganelon, which is Roland's stepfather who betrays the Franks. We have Marsil, which is the Saracen king. We have Oliver, who's a French count and Roland's trusted friend. Let's see, we have Roncesvalles, which is the pass in the Pyrenees Mountains where Roland and the Franks are attacked by the Saracens. The Saracens are Muslims at the time of the Crusades. Now you'll notice that the Muslims it's spelled Moslems. It is the same religion, but it's just spelled differently during that time period. And again, this is of French origin. We have Turpin, who is the archbishop who fights beside Roland. Saracen was applied by Greeks and Romans to a particular tribe of the Arabs who lived in Syria and Palestine. Later, it came to be referred to all that town as Moslem. Okay, the mutual animosity between Christians and Muslims continued for centuries, peaking in crusades from the 11th to 12th centuries. If you think about it now, this still continues. I'm sure you've learned in history with Mr. Newman that history repeats itself. There's nothing new that happens, unfortunately. It just keeps going and going and going. Okay, Roland is most famous paladin of the Charles and was depicted also as 8 feet tall. Roland carried an elaborate ivory horn. In courtly tradition, a knight strives for fame. There could be no greater honor than to have one's deeds commemorated in poetry and in song. The theme is the opportunity to seek honor and glory. Fighting for a just cause is more important than life itself. How many of us would be willing to give our lives for a thought or for a lifestyle? And, not to be hokey or weird or anything like that, which some of you probably think I am anyway, which is okay. But a thought, and we'll close with this thought. How many of us, since this is a Crusaders against Christianity and everything, how many of us would be willing to give our lives for Christ? Would we be willing to go to battle? Or would we be willing to be executed or our lives taken for the cause of Christ? Those are things that, unfortunately, I believe we may see in your generation. I could be way off, and that's okay if I am. That's fine. But just some thought. Think about that. Would you be willing to give your life for Christ? Would you be willing to give your life for someone who didn't know Christ and that you were told, I'll take your life or I'll take that person's life? Would you be willing to do that? Okay, have a great day. Take your notes. We'll have our test next week, so don't worry about it for Friday. Have a great day.